I'm Jacoby. I'm the founder of a business growth advisory company named Jacoby. And what we do is help small and mid-sized companies grow a lot by putting together really strong business plans, sales and marketing plans, and then providing the essential guidance to make sure that companies achieve and exceed their goals. The Maryland Chamber has asked me to spend just a few minutes and talk to you about our sales methodology that we teach to our clients, and it's called Delightfully Disruptive Selling. So I'd like to just in a few minutes disrupt your thinking a little bit and see if we can add a little value so that you can have a really successful 2010. Delightfully disruptive is taking together two concepts a little bit like sweet and sour. You put them together and you have something that really is memorable and talks to you. When you're delightful, you're saying things to people that they really want to hear. They like it. They're delighted. And when you disrupt, you get their attention. And getting people's attention, as you know, in this day and age is very difficult. There's a lot of noise out there and there's a lot of competition. Well, we have to disrupt them if we want them to have a relationship with us, but at the same time, we want to make sure we're delightful. So it's all about delightful disruption. So here's how you get there. The first step is I want you to think about ABCing, or ranking everything that you do. An A means it's excellent, a B means it's good, and a C means it either needs improvement or needs to go away. So look at your own sales and marketing right now and say to yourself, do we get an A for our current customers, or a B, or a C? How about our target market? And how about the marketing vehicles and spending we're doing to get more business? So first go through and rate everything so you know where you are. By using A, B, and C, you'll be able to know exactly where to put your attention to improve things. So after you've adopted this ABC mentality, the next thing you want to do is bring your A game to the market. And what we mean by that is, first of all, think of your business as a company of craftsmen. People who are absolutely excellent at what they do. And your job in the market is to go out and find people who want to buy from this absolutely excellent company. Doesn't that sound like something that's a lot more fun than going out and saying, oh my God, there's so many other phenomenal companies out there, how am I going to get business? So you go out as a craftsman, as one of the very best, and represent your company that way. Also, take the high road. That's part of the A game too. Don't try to manipulate people or push them or stiff arm them into doing things. Take the long-term perspective. You know, be somebody they can trust and build a valuable relationship. That's taking the high road. Also, the A game includes working hard. You just can't get around the fact that in this world, business is tough, and you have to work hard to get there. So now we're bringing our A game to the market, so now we want to make sure we get our marketing right, even before we sell. So the first question is, what are the products and services we're bringing to the market? If you didn't get an A on at least one of your products and services, you're going to want to improve it to make sure that you've got something really powerful to take. The next thing, which is a really important topic, is to go after the right target market niche. In my experience, very few companies are actually going after their sweet spot. They spend a lot of time chasing the wrong prospects and get frustrated and can't stand the fact that sales is such an inefficient process. But if you're going after the right market and using the right marketing vehicles to get your message across, it's a whole different experience. So let's assume that being a member of the Maryland Chamber of Commerce, you've made a great decision. And you're now able to get to and access many fantastic companies that operate primarily in Maryland. So you're in the right target market. Well, now you need a delightfully disruptive message so that some of them will pay attention to you. So you want to think about what you say to people. How disruptive is it? Or does it sound like everybody else? And of course, how delightful is it? So now let's talk about selling itself. Let's assume you've got your marketing in place, you've brought your A game, and now you're thinking, okay, but how do I be a more effective salesperson? Well, first of all, the philosophy that we recommend is that you start from the point of it's all about the other person. You want to be almost selfless in selling in this business community. because people can pick up if you're trying to push yourself at them. So don't push yourself at them. Be selfless. Be all about them. Your goal is one of two things. Either this is a prospect who can become somebody who will buy from you, or more likely, you want a goodwill ambassador. Imagine meeting 20 influential people, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 buy from you at some point, but the rest of them become goodwill ambassadors for you. You have an army out there helping you do business in the world. So that's the way to approach selling. Now, you're talking to somebody. How do you talk to people? Well, most people talk at them. A much better process is to be a really good and careful listener. Hear what they have to say. Remember, it's all about them. And then ask them delightfully disruptive questions. When you do that, you're helping them think through what's going on with them, and you're demonstrating your ability to add value to them. So now you've been listening and listening and listening and asking terrific questions. That person's, and you're being courteous and all about them, that person's going to think you're a pretty neat person. And again, either somebody who they may want to do business with at some point, or at least you've won the friendship of a valuable ambassador. So that's how to go about selling. Now specifically, let me talk about the Maryland Chamber of Commerce. Here are some things you can do to do a lot more sales in 2010. First of all, become very active. And by that, here's what I mean. First of all, show up at a lot of events and introduce yourself to people. The more people you know, the more ambassadors you'll have. Number 2, get really active in the organization. There's a number of great committees, so pick a committee that you think fits best with your talents and interests so that others can see how much you can contribute value. And get really active in that committee and make that committee better. And then finally, when you put these things together, one of the things you want to do is meet the centers of influence, the COIs, the movers and shakers that are members of the chamber. Over time, as you meet more and more of these people, and you have more and more ambassadors out there, lo and behold, you become a center of influence in the Maryland Chamber of Commerce. Now, with that as your goal, your sales in 2010 are going to be a lot better. So to summarize, my suggestions are to say to yourself, you know what? When I'm out there building my business, I'm going to be delightfully disruptive. And in the Maryland Chamber, I'm going to add value by getting really active, by helping lots of people, and watch as my friendships and great relationships grow. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you.